Thank you guys for tuning in, whoever has been around. Before we get started today, I just want to, I'm going to make this announcement probably just throughout the next week. We're getting ready to get back to business here. We miss our patients. I hope you guys miss us. But from the appearance of it, things will be quite busy when we get back. But we want to make sure that you guys understand that we are following the guidelines, social distancing guidelines. Our lobby is situated that everybody will be 6 feet apart. We've got multiple rooms to wait in. We have plenty of exam rooms. We have sanitizer all over the walls. Either our providers or you can wear masks if you feel that's necessary or if you prefer it. We're going to probably leave the door propped open so you don't have to touch anything, and we will take good care of you. I think most of you know that we're an accredited surgery center anyway, so a lot of these things are not new to us. We probably will add, at least initially, taking your temperature. Hope that's okay. If it's above 100, if it's above 100.5, that's 100.6 or higher, we'll have to determine whether or not we'll treat you. We might allow that to slide in, but we do want to make sure that we're taking care of our team and we're taking care of you so that we can do things appropriately. Okay, but back to today. So 25th episode, it appears that we are doing a little bit of a question and answer from a lot of questions that came in over the past several weeks. And first of all, I'll welcome Karen Whitney, Hope Mers. They're back to answer your questions. And Karen Lynch, once again, is going to be our director here. So Karen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Our viewers have once again been sending in their questions. We've been getting a lot of them. So in today's episode, we're just going to try to answer a few of your questions. And as many questions as you have, just let us know. We're happy to do it. This is actually kind of fun for us. But we have everything from wrinkles to dark spots today. So Kelsey wrote in and she said, I'm in my early 20s and I want to know how to avoid wrinkles.
Okay.
Oh, you want to start with that one?
Sure, I'll take that one. Okay, so in your 20s, there's a few things that I would say are the most important. So number one, sun protection. So you want to try to avoid any UV, ultraviolet radiation to the skin as much as possible. No matter what you do, you're going to get some, but a good sunscreen. So you've got a couple different options. You've got sunscreens or sunblocks, depending on the ingredient in them. So sunscreens have a chemical ingredient, block, and sunblocks have a physical ingredient called zinc or titanium that I prefer. I think that they're better blocks. They're physical blocks, meaning that the rays bounce off of the skin. We have a lot of those in the office available that we can always show you. But you want to apply every 90 minutes to 2 hours that you're outside being exposed to sun. So that's important. That's going to help prevent mutations that lead to early signs of aging like wrinkles, also brown spots, redness, different things in the skin that are going to create earlier signs of those aging wrinkles that we don't want. So sun protection's one. A vitamin C, so an antioxidant serum, is really important at a younger age throughout your life to use. It's like taking a multivitamin for your skin. It helps coat and protect the cells so that you're not getting these mutations as readily as you might be if you're not using an antioxidant. So a vitamin C or E serum, we have those in the office as well. We could show you and you can feel them and kind of see which texture you like. That's another one that's important. The other thing is you might be seeing some little fine lines, usually up here on the forehead is where those start to appear in your 20s, maybe touched by your eyes. Botox or a neurotoxin is a really good way to prevent those early. So you can do that, you know, even just once a year, twice a year to help reduce those muscle movements. Botox treats muscle movement in the upper third of the face. And so the smiling, you'll still smile, you'll still animate. You're just not going to be making these creasing motions that can lead to those static lines or wrinkles. If you don't do any neurotoxin treatment, you will see that your lines will slowly get deeper over the years. And there's other things you can do, like in-office treatments such as microneedling, which is this little pen that has these teeny tiny needles that go in and out really fast that trigger collagen stimulation to help thicken the skin and help create a more youthful skin tone. You can do chemical peels, which also induce some collagen and help shed off that outer layer. There's things that you can do in the office that help to prevent those skin signs of aging. I think I'd say those are the most important. So sun protection, antioxidant serum for your multivitamin for your skin, and little in-office procedures that you can do to help prevent signs of skin aging. That sum that up, Karen?
I think that was perfect. I can't think of anything. I really can't think of anything to add to that, other than remember that your overall health is also important.
Yep.
Proper diet, proper nutrition, exercise, all play into how we age.
Well, then this one kind of fits right in. So Beth is in her 50s and she has dark spots on her face. And I guess, you know, she wants to know what she can do. What's a good treatment for her to get rid of those dark spots?
I'll let
Sure.
you take that, Karen.
I'll talk about that one. So pigment forms, the melanin in your skin can be overproduced genetically. UV exposure, often hormonal influences, can cause spots on the skin. And we address it by using products and skincare treatments like Hope was talking about. We also have a couple of in-office treatments that can help deal with pigment on your skin. Probably the easiest one is called IPL. It stands for Intense Pulse Light. It's really great for freckling and normal UV surface spots that you can get, especially if you're that person that by the end of the summer you notice you've really picked up a little, your freckling has all gotten darker. IPL is done in the office. It's a pulsed light treatment, and basically the light hits your skin, the pigment absorbs more of the light's energy, breaks it into smaller particles, and it flakes away. There's no real downtime with IPL. It can take a series to get the best results. If that doesn't do it because your pigment is in the deeper layer of the skin, we might turn to the Pico Shore Focus Array treatment. This is an actual laser, and the Pico fires 1 trillion times a second. So it's a mechanical breakdown of the pigment of the skin. And what's happening is that the light is broken into a lot of little beamlets, and so it's scattered onto the skin in a pinpoint and hits the skin, goes through your normal skin color. So it doesn't impact your normal coloration, but will break down abnormal, darker pigment. This treatment, usually we do a topical numbing or we just blow cold air on it. You're a little bit pink for a day, but there's really no downtime with Pico Shore Focus Array either. We really like it. The studies have shown that that impact of the laser on the skin does help stimulate collagen. And we do a series of 3 to 5 treatments depending on the severity of your concern. And then finally, we do the DOT CO2 carbon dioxide resurfacing laser. And that's really good if you're seeing fine lines, wrinkles, pigment, a lot of sun damage. It's a rejuvenating treatment that does help stimulate collagen as well. So we're kind of going along the spectrum of aggressiveness of those treatments. The DOT procedure is done back in the OR under topical numbing. So we put numbing cream on, blow cold air on you. You do have a recovery time of anywhere from 6 to 10 days, depending on how red you are and if you get swelling. But the surface of the skin is vaporized, and the heat of the laser stimulates collagen. So you grow new, fresh skin, which is smoother and healthier. And each of these treatments, 3 months down the road, you'll see some signs of collagen stimulation. So besides using sunblock and great skincare, we've got a stepwise approach depending on your goal, your ability to have downtime, the severity of your skin, and what we're trying to target. Now, I think Hope's going to talk about if you have maybe something that's a little bit raised, more of a mole, or something that might require a specific treatment to the skin.
Yeah, sometimes you might just have one brown spot. And if you have an isolated brown spot, it could just be a lentigo, which is a sunspot, or it could be a mole. It could be something called a seborrheic keratosis, which is kind of like crusty feeling when you touch it. They look similar to moles. The best way to remove those kind of spots that are actually raised off the skin, there's a couple options, but shave excision is a really easy method to use. What we do is we just go right underneath the brown spot with a little tiny, tiny injection of lidocaine and epinephrine. The lidocaine works right away. You're numb right away. You feel one tiny poke, that's it. The epinephrine takes a few minutes to kick in. That's a vasoconstrictor. So it constricts the little vessels that are in that skin layer and makes it virtually bloodless when we're doing this little tiny shave. It's just as deep as if you skin your knee. We take an instrument, a flat instrument that just shaves it right off, and then there goes that type of brown spot. You wear a little ointment and a Band-Aid for a few days, and then it heals over. You'll probably want to avoid sun on that area for a couple weeks because you don't want to risk any discoloration to linger in that spot as it heals. So, you know, we can provide you with a good physical sunblock like I was talking about before, but that's a great way to remove those stubborn brown spots that may be a little bit more raised off the skin.
Good. Okay, so the other one is from Jocelyn, and she's in her late 30s, and she wants to come into the office, but she's trying to think of what would be the best first treatment she should look into after the stay-at-home order is lifted. So like, you know, skincare or Botox, and she's just, you know, wanting to get back into things. What's the first thing that you think that she should do?
I think there's so much that we all want to do right now. Everybody's probably due for a dermaplane. So dermaplanes are where we take an instrument that's kind of flat, it's a little blade, but it doesn't hurt. We use it to shave off the outside layer of the skin. Also, all those little vellus hairs come with it, so your skin feels like a baby's skin when it's done. It's just so soft and smooth, and all your products can get back in. So it really lets your skin breathe. It's a good thing to do every 6 weeks or so, just as a maintenance treatment for your skin. And I'm sure everybody's going to be due for that. But also our skin regimens that we're in the midst of. So I know, you know, I have a lot of patients that are like, when is it bad that I'm late for my 3rd microneedling RF, or, you know, whatever they're in the middle of? And it's not, it's okay. We are going to want to get you back in to get your series going again. But, you know, so microneedling treatments, microneedling with radio frequency, those we're going to want to restart soon to get your skin back up and running with the collagen formation. So I'd say those are real important for your skin right now.
I agree completely. And we're also getting calls like, oh my God, I'm due for my Botox. How soon can I get in? I feel like my filler is deflated. Geez, I'm doing these Zoom calls and I'm feeling kind of insecure. I need some filler somewhere. So the good news is that once we do those treatments for you, things are going to be just fine. So hang in there and come see us when you can.
Another question that came in is about rosacea, and she said that her rosacea has been really acting up. She thinks it has to do with the added stress of being home and being annoyed with kids, dogs, and husband running around. She even saw a blood vessel on her cheek that she hadn't noticed before, and she was just wondering what she should do.
Okay, I think I'll start that one and then I'll send it to you, Karen.
Sounds perfect.
All right, so rosacea, for those that don't know, this is a chronic inflammatory process in the skin. It's typical in fair-skinned people like me. I struggle with rosacea. It is frustrating. It's hard to treat, but it's easier to maintain it. So I really recommend to see a practitioner and go over your rosacea options. Your skincare is important. So you want something that's geared towards anti-inflammatory, because since this is an inflammation in the skin leading to redness and those vessels that you're seeing on your cheek, you really want to make sure that you're doing something to protect your skin and do something against inflammation. So we carry a product actually that I love called Elastin Nectar. It's great for rosacea. It has your antioxidants in it to help protect your skin from UV as well. I love that stuff. I use it twice a day and it is great with rosacea. It has a lot of factors in it that are anti-inflammatory, so it helps to calm the skin. We use it a lot actually post-procedure to help skin heal. But for rosacea patients, that's a great thing that you can do. So that's important. A physical sunscreen. So the zinc titanium ingredient sunscreens are important to help not only calm the skin with the zinc, but avoid chemicals on your skin. Chemicals are so irritating to rosacea. And so doing those kind of things will help prevent the chronic inflammation and redness that over years can form what we call telangiectasias, these little vessels that you commonly see around the nose or on the cheek. When you do start to get those, there's another procedure I'll let Karen talk about called IPL. So Karen, if you might want to give some instructions with that.
Yes. Yeah, so I was talking a little bit about IPL in regard to brown spots. So IPL stands for intense pulse light, and it's a non-laser light treatment that we put the crystal on the skin, it pulses a bright pulse of light, and that light will be selectively absorbed by either pigment, which we talked about, or by the coloration in your blood vessels. So the red pigment in your red blood cells actually absorb the light, so it heats the vessel from the inside out to help reduce the size of the vessel. So we're using the light to heat and to reduce appearance of redness and reduce the number of blood vessels. So we use IPL for the little blood vessels people get around their nose or scattered on their cheeks, as well as for the redness of rosacea. It's not treating the rosacea per se. Hope was talking about ways to treat it. The IPL is really to counteract and treat the redness of your rosacea. We do typically do 3 to 5 treatments spaced about 3 weeks apart. Using the nectar, sunblock, other products in between is important. And this is something you might need to do on a yearly basis to keep the redness under control. But also you might find that you treat your redness and things do really well for a long period of time, because rosacea does not follow a linear pattern. So that means it doesn't, if you go through a bad flare-up, it doesn't mean you're going to keep getting worse and worse. It might quiet back down, especially with all the treatments that Hope talked about.
Yeah, and we can also provide, I mean, if there are patients out there with moderate to severe rosacea, we can also provide prescription options and things that can really help decrease your flare-ups. And so every patient's kind of different when it comes to their severity level of rosacea. So we can go through all that with you too.
I didn't realize you guys knew so much. Wow, I'm impressed. We really do have a good team. Anyway, Karen, are there any more questions?
No, that's it. We got a lot of good answers for those questions today. Thank you.
Okay, good. So I think tomorrow, we're planning on doing a little bit with rhinoplasty or non-surgical rhinoplasty, I think at least. And but in the meantime, thank you, whomever has shown up here. And just a few other notes. Virtual consultations, we're still seeing many patients. If you go to our homepage and click on the button, and Hope and Karen and myself, we're all been seeing you all. And I know everybody's getting ready for their Botox. They do have a promotion, $9.99 per unit through the month of May. So we look forward to seeing all of you, and hang in there, but we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.